Gary Graham had more Star Trek roles than Enterprise's Vulcan. The late Gary Graham is best known for his role as Ambassador Sovol in Star Trek Enterprise, but the actor's franchise connections go much further than the stoic Vulcan. Gary Graham's breakthrough role was Detective Matthew Sykes in the sci-fi crime series Alien Nation and its subsequent TV movies. Like Star Trek, Alien Nation viewed contemporary issues like social injustice and racism through a science fiction lens. Years after Alien Nation came to an end, Gary Graham joined the cast of Star Trek Enterprise in the recurring role of Sovol, who appeared across all 4 seasons of the prequel show. Enterprise wasn't Gary Graham's first flirtation with Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek, however. During the early development stages of both Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager, Gary Graham was considered for both Janeway and Sisko. When it was decided that DS9 should have an African-American lead and Voyager should have a female captain, Graham was no longer under consideration. Despite this disappointment, Gary Graham went on to star in several official Star Trek TV shows and unofficial fan films, and even formed a band, the Sons of Kirk, who performed the theme tune for the Shuttle Pod Show podcast, hosted by his former Enterprise co-stars Dominic Keating and Connor Trinneer. Gary Graham played an Ocampa on Star Trek Voyager. After missing out on the role of Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager, Gary Graham was cast as Tanis in the Season 2 episode Cold Fire. Tanis was an Ocampa like Voyager's Kez, Jennifer Lyon, but he had been raised not by the caretaker, Basil Langton, but by their mate, Suspiria, Lindsay Ridgway. Tanis was therefore colder than the Ocampans that the USS Voyager crew first encountered in Caretaker. Tanis was described as dark, intense, attractive, but with a dangerous edge, which Gary Graham played brilliantly, charming Kez, while simultaneously selling out the crew of the Voyager to Suspiria. Tanis was the oldest Ocampa that had been encountered by the USS Voyager, living to the age of 14. This was 5 years longer than Kez and her fellow Ocampans, and it was said that Tanis's father had lived to the ripe old age of 20. This was due to the influence of Suspiria, who sent Tanis to ensnare the USS Voyager as revenge for the death of her partner in Star Trek Voyager's pilot episode. When Kez defeated Tanis in Suspiria's revenge plot, they returned to the planet Exosia and were never seen again.